Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, they went at it in their second debate. We are going to play some excerpts, but we're also going to discuss Donald Trump's comments. This is going to be an intense program. You're not going to want to miss 1 second of it. Hit your DVR. Ask your friends to come by and watch.
Those who forsake the law praise the wicked. Those who uphold the law resist them. Welcome to the Voice of Resistance. Here's your host, Randall Terry.
In a moment, we are going to play excerpts from last night's debate, but I want to talk to you from my heart first. My wife and I did listen to the hot mic statements. Donald Trump did not know that he was being filmed 11 years ago, that the mic was on. Said some very offensive, very, very wrong, immoral things. Okay? He just did. And it was bad. And he apologized. He knew it was bad. He apologized. Which was probably the first time in this campaign that he has publicly said that he was sorry. But that's not the thing that I want to focus on. Please hear me. This election cycle is about policy, not personality. The other day I was having a discussion with one of my associates, one of my friends, who is highly connected in the Hollywood realm. And whenever we talk about politics, he's always saying, "You can't vote for Trump. You're too smart for that." And I said to him, "No, I can, because this is not about personality. It's about policy. Tell me what about Trump's policies that you don't agree with." And the long story short is he could never do it. Now, I know that there are many people who are upset by what Trump said, as they should be. If we want to look at things that Hillary has said and Hillary has done, horrible things that Bill Clinton has done to women, and then Hillary Clinton doing what she could to destroy those women. Okay? Having them in the audience last night, he had to do it. I completely agree with his decision, and he had the press conference before that, letting them speak, letting them tell their story. And I have not gone into those things on this television program because I've wanted to stay focused on policy, on the differences in their policy. But this stuff has come up. It's in the news. So at the end of the day, if you want to say Trump is a womanizer, probably is, or was at least. You want to say Bill Clinton was a womanizer. For sure he was. We know that. And that he was a serial abuser. It looks like that's the case as well. And if you want to say that Hillary was out to destroy the women who came forward with their claims against Bill Clinton, that's going to be true. But friends, please hear me. This is an election is about the Supreme Court appointees. Do you understand? Hillary stood on that platform last night and said that the appointees that Donald Trump wants to put on the Supreme Court will overturn Roe versus Wade. She's right. Donald Trump said he wants to have a justice like Anton Scalia. Hillary Clinton wants to have left-wingers like Kagan and Sotomayor. She wants to have judges that will continue to write laws from the bench and trash our Constitution. This election is about policy. This election is about the Second Amendment. Your right, your God-given right to keep and to bear arms. If Hillary Clinton is elected, you must understand that the Second Amendment is going to come under further attack. Go down the list of things that matter. Your protection from Islamic terrorism. Hillary Clinton openly admits she wants a 550% increase of Syrian refugees. And ISIS has stated publicly, we're going to infiltrate them. We're going to send terrorists. This election is about policy, not which of these two is the more corrupt sexually. I'll be right back. Don't go away. If you own a business and would like to advertise on our program, please contact us. We are currently seen on over 130 television stations from coast to coast. We air at 8 p.m. Eastern, and then all times are local. We have a lot of reach, friend, and this is an opportunity at a great price for you to get your product or your service in front of hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people. Also, if there's something that's important to you and you'd like to have a month where you just say thank you to this ministry or promote a certain ministry or a certain cause, contact us. Our rates are incredibly affordable. You'd be surprised. And you, again, can reach into hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of homes. We're currently seen possibly in over 30 million homes. So give us a call, give us an email, and we'll put a commercial up for you. The largest single source of news in America, a go-to place, is the Drudge Report. All right? The Drudge, and they don't usually write news, they just put headlines. And the Drudge Report has made it absolutely clear that they will do everything in their power to see Hillary defeated and to see Trump elected. And so the headlines over the weekend were mind-boggling. They were vulgar. They were offensive. And what Drudge has decided to do, and I respect him for it, is to fight fire with fire. And so if Hillary and her minions, which clearly they want to make an issue out of what he said on that bus, then Trump and his surrogates, they've got to respond in kind. And that's what Trump was doing last night by having those 4 Clinton accusers, 3 of them about Bill and 1 of them, horrifying story about Hillary getting off the rapist and laughing about it. Having them in the audience was a stroke of political genius. And Hillary did not look good last night. Trump won that debate. Make no mistake about it. The only issue is how many more defections will happen from the Republicans. Now please hear me. Somebody not defecting from Trump is not saying, well, and what he said on that bus is no big deal. No, it's a big deal. What he said on the bus is a big deal. The problem is the bigger deal is the direction of this country. The bigger deal is who appoints the next Supreme Court judges. Trump could swear like a sailor. Trump could be a jerk regarding his wife and his children. And maybe he is, maybe he's not. It doesn't matter. Well, Randall, it matters. The ethics matter. A person's private life matters. Yes, they do matter. They matter in our relationship with God, whether we're going to make it to the pearly gates or to the lake of fire, whether we can be trusted. I get all of that. But at the end of the day, Donald Trump has been a successful businessman and has said, I've made a lot of mistakes in his personal life. I was not a good husband. He has said it. And he also has said, here's the list I have of judges that I will appoint to the Supreme Court. That is what this election is about. I can't emphasize this enough. And my sticking by Donald Trump is not an endorsement of what he said on the bus. It's because this election is not about that. This election is not about Hillary trying to do harm or bring harm to Paula Jones. All right? I mean, yes, these issues bear in a little bit, but that's not what the election is about. The election is about the Second Amendment, babies being murdered by abortion, ISIS and Islamic terrorism, and Hillary's refusal to see the glaring link between Islam and Islamic terrorism. That's what the election is about. Do I have time to play that clip? All right. What's in the first clip again? Okay, roll the tape.
You bragged that you have sexually assaulted women. Do you understand that?
No, I didn't say that at all. I don't think you understood what was said. This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it. I apologize to my family. I apologize to the American people. If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. 4 of them here tonight.
He has said that the video doesn't represent who he is, but I think it's clear to anyone who heard it that it represents exactly who he is. But he never apologizes for anything to anyone. He owes our country an apology, and he needs to take responsibility for his actions and his words.
But when you talk about apology, I think the one that you should really be apologizing for, and the thing that you should be apologizing for, are the 33,000 emails that you deleted and that you acid washed. And then the 2 boxes of emails and other things last week that were taken from an office and are now missing. I didn't think I'd say this, but I'm going to say it. And I hate to say it. But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it.
It's just not true, and so please go
you didn't delete them?
Allow her to respond, please.
Personal emails, not official.
33,000?
Well, we turned over 35,000, so
Oh, yeah.
it was.
What about the other 15,000?
Please allow her to respond. She didn't talk while you talked.
Yes, that's true. I didn't.
Because you
I
have
didn't
nothing
in
to
the
say.
first debate, and I'm going to try not to in this debate, because I'd like to get to the questions that the people have brought here tonight to talk to us about.
And get off this question.
Okay, Donald, I know you're into big diversion tonight, anything to avoid talking about your campaign and the way it's exploding and the way Republicans are leaving you. But let's at least focus
Allow her to
on some of
respond.
the issues that people care about tonight. You know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Him going for the throat on the emails, on obstruction of justice. Who would believe that a woman would had 33,000 emails about her daughter's wedding and yoga? It's so ludicrous. She deleted emails that would have shown unthinkable corruption and probably illegal acts. Pay to play. Where people were giving money to her and the Clinton Foundation to have access and to get deals. That's part of what this election is all about. And I was thrilled that he went for the throat. I'll be right back. We'll play more clips. Don't go away. Friend, this program is supported by friends like you who believe in what we are doing. We run a very tight ship. Thankfully, we are on over 130 stations across the country, having tremendous impact. We get emails every day. We get letters in the mail, not every day, but almost every day. We hear from people who love what we're doing. What people don't understand is that it's sort of expensive to produce a television show like this. It doesn't require earth-shattering funds, but it does require financial help. So I am asking you, if you enjoy this program, throw us a $10 or a $20 bill every once in a while, or even a $50 or a $100 check. You see the address there on the screen. Your gifts are not tax deductible, by the way, because we want to be able to say what we want to say regarding politics without the IRS telling us no. So if you like the program, I ask for your support.
You know, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
Wow, because you'd be in jail. Trump did something last night that he had to do, and that was to stop the hemorrhaging, to stop the bleeding, and to shore up his own base. He was saying things to her last night that many people have been dying that somebody would say publicly in a format that you couldn't escape. ABC News, George Stephanopoulos, these people, they are such Clinton advocates. They're liars. They're unethical when it comes to their reporting. But in a live debate like that last night, she could not escape. She could not escape. And that was great. Let's play the clip about the deplorables and listen to the exchange going right off the bat with Trump and the press.
No,
Excuse
did
me.
you? No, answer the question.
Why
Do
don't
you
you
still
interrupt
believe?
her? You
I
interrupt
do.
me all the time. Why don't you
Would you
interrupt her?
please explain whether or not the Muslim ban still stands?
It's called extreme vetting.
In hours, I said that I was sorry about the way I talked about that, because my argument is not with his supporters, it's with him and with the hateful and divisive campaign that he has run.
We have a divided nation because people like her, and believe me, she has tremendous hate in her heart. And when she said deplorables, she meant it.
All right, so she does have hate in her heart. I have a story of when they got nominated, or rather when they got first elected in 1992, they were coming out of the Methodist Church in Washington, D.C., and one of the people with us, we were having protests everywhere for the babies, and one of them got into the church. It was this close to Hillary and said, Hillary, it is not God's will to kill babies. And rage came over Hillary's face, and she grabbed over it and said, it is God's will to kill babies. So, friend, she believes that we're deplorable. And they didn't even put the clip in there about being irredeemable. We're irredeemable. We are a divided nation. I was so glad that Trump said that. We're divided. I've said that repeatedly on this show during this whole election cycle for close to a year now. More than a year, we are a divided people. And Hillary, with her blather saying stronger together, we're stronger together, she doesn't want you, if you're a hardcore pro-lifer, you believe in marriage, that homosexual marriage is a sin, go down the list. She doesn't want you to be stronger together with her. She wants you to surrender your ethics. That's what this is about. We talk about diversion. Oh my goodness. When the thing broke about the hot mic and him on the bus, I was appalled. I felt bad for him. You know what this means in part is that you can't have a conversation. You have to be worried about who's taping you at all times and who's going to betray you at all times. But that aside, okay, when that came out, I said, okay, Bill Clinton's alleged sexual assaults against women, they're going to come to the forefront now because Trump and his people have to do it. They're going to do it, and they did do it. And now it's going to take a place on the headlines of Drudge, not just on the headlines of Drudge, but now it's going to take a part in the bigger debate for the next 28 days. So please understand that when she went through the list of the basket of deplorables, she said misogynists, xenophobes, Islamophobes. She was talking about our positions, policy positions, political positions. And extreme vetting. He talked about extreme vetting last night. Look, you have to understand something. Almost all of the terrorist attacks that have happened in America, San Bernardino, Orlando, Boston, the 9/11 hijackers, do you understand that almost every single one of these people were in the country, our country, legally? They were here legally. So the fact that Hillary is prepared to legally bring in all these Syrian refugees, it's already shown that it doesn't matter. You have to find out what their devotion to Muhammad is like, their devotion to the Hadith. Are they reading the Hadith and the portions of the Quran that say that they should kill infidels, and if they die facing the enemy, that they're going to go to paradise and get 72 virgins? That's part of Islam. And Hillary wants to avoid that, and Trump is running right at it. Friends, remember, this is about policy. I'll be right back. Don't go away. I want to invite you to go to our website. Almost every book that I have ever written is available as a PDF online for free. We have a ton of products, training materials, tools that are available for you for free. All we ask for is that you give us your email address. That's it, so that we can stay in touch with you, and yes, from time to time, ask you to support this work. So I'm inviting you, go to the website. Now, for those of you who say, well, I don't want a PDF, I want a real book. You can get one of my books. All you have to do is pay for shipping and handling and then give whatever gift you want. And if you can't afford anything, we'll send you the book for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Why are we doing all this? Because we want to change the direction of the country, and we need to raise up a fresh generation of warriors to do that. That's why we have this tool. I invite you, go to the website, see for yourself. We're going to play one more clip. We'll play a little bit about Russia, and then the now famous, say something positive about each other. Go ahead.
Russia has decided that it's all in Syria. And they've also decided who they want to see become president of the United States, too, and it's not me. I've stood up to Russia. I've taken on Putin and others.
She talks tough against Russia. But our nuclear program has fallen way behind, and they've gone wild with their nuclear program. Not good.
Mr. Trump, let me repeat the question. If you were president, what would you do about Syria and the humanitarian crisis in Aleppo? And I want to remind you what your running mate said. He said provocations by Russia need to be met with American strength.
Okay. He and I haven't spoken, and I disagree. I disagree.
You disagree with your running mate?
I think we have to knock out ISIS.
Would either of you name one positive thing that you respect in one another?
I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald.
I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. I respect that. I tell it like it is. But she does fight hard, and she doesn't quit, and she doesn't give up, and I consider that to be a very good trait.
All right, let's start with the Russia first. Russia has been, the Russian people and their satellite countries around them have fought with Islamic terrorism for centuries, okay? Centuries. And I grew up in the Reagan era. Communist Russia was the threat to us on the face of the earth, and I get it. But on this issue, a broken clock is right twice a day. And Putin wants to keep Assad in power. And I agree, and here's why. Look at Libya. Look at what happened in Libya. Hillary was a part of orchestrating taking Gaddafi down. Gaddafi went down. We enforced a no-fly zone over their country. He couldn't stop the rebels. They took him, they killed him, and now what? Now large portions of Libya are under total control of ISIS. The revenue from the oil there is going to ISIS. The training camps there, where they're training Islamic terrorists, are in full bloom. Because, why? Regime change. We didn't like Gaddafi. We want to get rid of him. Things are worse now. Things are worse there. And if you think that Assad could be taken from power and that it's then, I mean, what do you think is going to happen? What happened in Libya? ISIS sympathizers, radical Muslim jihadists are going to get control of the country. They are. And Russia is saying, we're not going to let that happen. We are not going to let that happen. Now, what I was surprised that Trump didn't say last night, because he said it before, is we're just going to cut an area out of Syria and say, here you go. We're going to protect this area. We're not going to let Assad kill them, and we're not going to let ISIS kill them. And people can go there. He didn't say that tonight. I'm not sure why. Or last night, rather. But all right, I'm almost out of time. All right, let's go to the end. I think that it was fairly easy to call what their positive statements were going to be about each other. Your kids are a great testimony, and you're still a fighter. And she is a fighter. That was glaring to me, that's what was going to be said by both of them. But friends, you might dislike either of them. You just might dislike Donald Trump. I'm asking you to remember what this election is about. It is about policy. It is about ISIS. It is about babies being murdered by abortion. It is about the sacrament of marriage. It is about Islam. It is about our right to defend ourselves. It's about trade deals to the south, trade deals with the Pacific Rim. It is about immigration and whether or not people will continue to pour across our southern border. That's what this election is about. So keep your eye on the ball. I look forward to the next time.